Hello VC. This time I thought I'd make a video about my visit to Belgium. Me and my brother went on holiday this August to Brussels, among other places, and I arranged a meeting with Antoine, who promised to take us around to different record stores. But actually, the day before we met up with Antoine, we just started walking at some direction and see just what we happened to come across, which is what we usually do. And this time we found some record stores. So I bought a couple of records then, and first one was Paul Simon, Greatest Hits, etc. This record is one of my earliest purchases on CD. So I've had this on CD for ages, but for some reason, sometime last year, I started to get the feeling that I want to have this on vinyl. I don't know why, but now I found it. I actually had found this a couple of times earlier, but I always passed it by because it was too expensive or it was in too poor condition. But this one is in excellent condition. And next one was Kick by In Excess. This one was also excellent to find because I had already decided to buy this one from some internet site, but finding this there was about half the price, and also obviously I didn't have to pay postages, so it was a great find. And that was all that I bought that day. Next day we met up with Antoine, and he wanted us to start at some department store. I think it was Media Markt, because he said that that's a great place to buy vinyl on cheap. But I actually started off with buying CDs. Counting Crows, Somewhere Under Wonderland. This was amazing because this is such a recent release and this was really cheap. So I immediately grabbed this one up. Lenny Kravitz, Circus, sorry about the glare. Another somewhat recent release, Massive Star, Seasons of Your Day. And this next one I actually found just a few days earlier on vinyl, but I passed it by because it was so expensive. Curtis Mayfield, Curtis Live. This on CD this cost about 1/4 of what the vinyl would have cost, and since all the other records that I have from Curtis are also on CD, so it was a good choice to get this on CD. And the next one I bought mainly because it was so cheap. I just wanted to sort of try out what kind of music that she does, because I had the impression that she was kind of a jazz singer. Melody Gardot, The Absence. But at least on this album she's more like a Latin music, bossa nova, and one of these songs is called Lisboa, so I'm guessing that's Fado, which is a Portuguese music style. My guess is that this doesn't represent her usual style in music, but whether this does represent her usual style or not, I really like this. This was a really great find. And the next one is Bossa Nova, Getz and Gilberto #2, Stan Getz and Joao Gilberto live at Carnegie Hall. Great live album with several bonus tracks, and this one was the cheapest one of them all. And also I bought one DVD, Foo Fighters, Back and Forth. This one also cost about half of what I would have had to pay back here. And I did buy a couple of vinyls also. This one was actually the very first record that I saw when I went to the store, Graham Parsons GP. But I was slightly hesitant at buying this because I wanted to buy both of Graham Parsons' solo albums, this one and Grievous Angel, from the same country at least, but they didn't have Grievous Angel, so I was like, should I or shouldn't I buy this one? But I decided to buy this. I was feeling quite confident that I would find Kuvaus Angel from some of the stores that we would visit that day. The other one that I bought was Ramones, Adios Amigos. Their last studio album, and I like this album, but I have to give some criticism to these reissues made by Let Them Eat Vinyl. And one thing is that they use gatefolds, and on a gatefold they simply put the front cover. So it's just a complete waste of space, in my opinion. And the other one, which is even more important, is that they leave out the songwriting credits. This doesn't include any of the songwriting credits. And I don't like that at all. In my opinion, records should have songwriting credits. Okay, that was all that I bought from the first store, and we went to the second store, and I bought this album, which I actually had seen sometime previously when the Vinyl Corner had posted this on the Facebook pages. Obviously I had known that this album exists, but I had never seen it on vinyl, and I didn't know that this had been reissued on vinyl. Julie Cruz, Floating into the Night. Obviously everybody knows her from Twin Peaks, which is my all-time favorite TV series. So thank you, Mikko. And the other one that I bought from that store, the new Stan Getz Quartet, Getz Au Go Go live recording. This one I actually saw also on Facebook pages when Armian posted this one. And this one was really great find to me because this one includes One Note Samba with lead vocals by Astrud Gilberto. And I've been looking that song for about 3 years maybe. So I finally found this. Because I had always assumed that it's on one of Astrud's solo albums. That's why I've been looking for it and never found it. But it was on Stan Getz album. So thank you, Armian. Okay, and then to the next store, and I found Heart magazine, their official, unofficial second album, or unofficial, official second album from 1977. This one is on Mushroom Records, and it includes the printed inner sleeve. So it was a great find. Next one was Stone Ponies featuring Linda Ronstadt. The first Stone Ponies album, this is a reissue from 1974, originally released in 1967. By 74, Linda had gained some fame, so that's why they reissued with her name on the credits featuring Linda Ronstadt. It's late 60s folk music, and not actually a great one, but it's an okay album. Not a bad one, but not a great one either. Linda's voice is already there. Brilliant singing from her. And again, onward to the next door, and I found Iggy Pop, New Values, his album from 1979. Again, I have to say that this is not a great album. It's an okay album with a few great tracks, especially I'm Bored, which I had been looking for a long time. But this is so much more like new wave, even art rock. Not a great album in my opinion, but an okay album. Again, with printed inner sleeve. And the next one, Bob Marley and the Wailers, Natty Dread. The third Bob Marley and the Wailers album. And I actually had bought another one of their albums just a few days earlier. So after this one, I have all of the albums released during his lifetime. I'm still missing Confrontation and actually also Survival, but I used to have that one, but not anymore, so I don't really miss that one. But yeah, still missing Confrontation. And I did find Graham Parsons' Kuvaus Angel. So I was very happy to find both of these albums from the same country, because I have the CD which includes both of these albums. So if I decide to get rid of the CD, I have both of these albums from the same country. This may not make any sense to you, but Graham Parsons is one of my travel bands, which means that I like to buy his records from different countries. And the last record that I bought was first Rhythm Kings album, Strutting Our Stuff. This is my third album from them. This one actually is titled just Rhythm Kings, but the later albums are titled Bill Wyman's Rhythm Kings. Okay, so thank you, Antoine, for taking us around, and I want to give another thank you to Antoine. As we were going from one store to another, my bag, I had a plastic bag on which I carried my purchases, started falling apart. And Antoine had a bag like this one, in which he carried his records. But then, when we were at one of the stores, he bought one record and asked to get a plastic bag, and he gave me that bag so that I could divide my records on 2 different bags in order to avoid my plastic bag from falling apart. So it's a simple favor, but it was very welcome. So thank you again, Antoine. Okay, that was all for this time. I actually went from Brussels to Amsterdam, where I bought more records, but I will leave that and all the other purchases to the next time. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Bye.